Hey, what's up, guys? Dimple Games here, playing some Diablo, the Reaper of Souls. I figured I had enough time in this game that I should probably try to give a review for the new expansion and some of the changes that they've actually been making recently. Let's see if I can pull up something for you guys real quick. Where do I get to my profile? Just to give you an idea, yeah, that I've played this game before. Here we go, 674 hours. I have a lot of time wrapped up in this game. So I know a fair amount about it, the ups and downs. I must say overall, though, the expansion is a welcome addition. It does has its own set of problems, which actually aren't too much different than what the original Diablo 3 had. I mean, it just inherited them. So basically, Diablo 3 overall, well, do I want to cover that first? Let's just talk about the new changes in Reaper of Souls. So right off the bat, once you buy Reaper of Souls, assuming that you are a level 60 or have already beaten the first 4 acts, you should have access to the 5th act, which is what's this one called? Act 5. I guess it's not going to pull it up for me. Oh well, you have access to Act 5. Act 5 isn't too much different than the other acts. There's really not a whole lot of new stuff added here. It's basically just new backgrounds with a little bit of new creatures, but everything else is the same. There isn't really any great additions. Really, the only addition, I guess I would say, which is an overall, not necessarily necessarily essential to Act 5 or only restricted to Act 5, is the addition of the Mystic. The Mystic allows you to re-roll some of your crappy gear. So, like, if you get, let's say, almost the perfect bracers, but they have the wrong primary stat on, like maybe you're a mage and it has strength on it, you can go to the Mystic, drop your item on her, and actually let's just go ahead and go into game and do that. Hold on real quick. Let's go to adventure mode. Adventure mode's another new feature, but we'll cover that in a minute. Let's just hop in here. So yeah, let's go over to the Mystic and then we'll talk about adventure mode. As soon as we jump in here. Alright. So you notice on the map right here, there's this little circular vortex looking thing. That's the Mystic. You come on over. So let's say, for instance, on this item here, this belt. It has 392 vitality and 10% life, which seems like a little much to you. So you go ahead and drop it in here on the Mystic. It'll bring up a list of all the stats on here that you can change. You have to be careful when selecting a stat to change, because once you change it, you can't change any of the others. So, like, let's say you wanted to change this grenade damage and this one, you wouldn't be able to. You can only choose one. But once you choose the one, you can re-roll it as many times as you like. So, let's see if we can get rid of this 10% life. And if you click here on this question mark, it shows you the other potential possible properties you can roll into. Which this one's actually really great. There's only 4 here, so you have a 1 in 4 chance of getting it. Actually, it's a little bit higher than that, which you'll see in a second. But if I come over to this one has 3, 6, 7. I mean, it all varies. I've seen some that go all the way down the list, which makes it a little less desirable to try to roll. There's more chances that you aren't going to get it. And to do so uses up some of the new crafting materials, so you have to have an abundance of them in order to do so. But let's try to get dexterity. This shouldn't be too hard. Basically, once you hit replace property, it's going to roll 2 times to try to replace it with one of these guys. Sometimes you get the same one as well. So let's see if we can roll this real quick in dexterity. I don't really care about money at this point. 3-foot armor. Okay, out of all these, I don't really... I guess we'll keep this one. That's the other thing I should mention. You can keep the property if you don't like the ones it rolled to. So let's try this again. No, 10% life is definitely better. Come on, dexterity. There you go. We got ourselves some dexterity, so bam. Now, if I look at this item, let's go ahead and get out of here and put it back on here. You'll see that I can no longer switch any other properties. It's stuck on this one. You have to re-roll this one. So that's pretty cool. That's a nice addition. In fact, if you look at most of my gear, well, you see that little blue little circle around dexterity? That lets you know which one that you've had her change. So you look at most of my gear. Actually, this one you won't see it, and this one you won't either. But as I say it, all of them don't have it. This one I changed the property. I can't remember what it was before. This one I changed the property. This one I changed. This one I changed. Pretty much all of my gear at one point in time, I've changed a property on them. So this is a really useful addition. It allows you to kind of custom tailor your loot, which is really, really great. Because the problem with this game is, well, never mind, we'll cover that later. We'll get into that later. There's a whole lot to be said about that. But now we have this another new thing, which is kind of cool. I guess it's not really super useful, but it just allows you to change the look of your items. So if you find a specific legendary, it'll kind of put it up here in the options, and you can pay money to have your item look like that. So right now I have my item looking like this hell rack, even though my item's actually a manticore. So you just pay her money, and she'll change the look and feel of it. You can do it to pretty much your whole entire outfit. I don't think there's a single bit of gear that you can't do it to other than like rings and necklaces. In fact, you may be able to do them too. Let's find out. No, you can't. That would not be wise, apparently. So there you go. That's the Mystic. Great. I love it. This is definitely the best addition to the Reaper Souls expansion. Alright, so now let's talk about this mode I'm in right now. Adventure mode is a completely different mode outside of the campaign. It removes pretty much all the questing about it. And pretty much opens up the world to you. So right now I have access to every single act. So let's say if I want to go to Act 2. Well, let me back up. The main point of the adventure mode is to run bounties and rifts. I'll just be blunt about it. That's it. That's the only point to this. And it's a really good thing. I guess it's more geared towards the end game people. They also made a change too that makes it even more attractive. But let me talk about what the bounties are. So basically you can go to any act you want. There'll be a set of 5 bounties, and if you complete all 5 of them, you get this Heretic Cash, which I have something actually pretty neat for you. One of my friends talking to me. Let me say something real quick to him. So bounties. Where is that? Which one we're looking at? I guess it doesn't really matter. Each act has 5. Once you complete it, you get this Heretic Cash, which you can open up, which contains kind of a random assortment of loot. Usually it's a few gems, a few riftstone fragments, some crafting materials, and occasionally you can get a legendary out of it. I've never gotten one, but that's a whole nother story. That's actually a huge problem with Diablo. But so yeah, you do all 5 of them, you get the cash, and actually completing each individual one will give you a good amount of experience and gold as well. So that's kind of cool. Each bounty basically has you go to one of the portals throughout whatever act you're in. Some of them it's like, I don't know, kill this guy, or cleanse this chest, or cleanse this shrine, or take part in this event, or even sometimes it's kill a boss, like this one. Actually, this one doesn't have one. And it's completely random. Actually, this one does, kill Adria. So yeah, there's bosses scattered throughout these. And once you complete them, obviously you get the experience and the cash, and get the heretic, or the experience, the gold. Well, I guess it is experience and the cash, and then you get another cash with the CACHE. All right, and so that's all well and good, but then that brings us to another point: the rifts. For doing each of the bounties, you also get this little piece of, I don't know what you would call it. It's not really crafting material, but it's let's see what they call it. Yeah, it's a, I don't know what they call it. It's just a rift keystone fragment. You should be able to get 5, yeah. So 1 for each act, or 1 for each bounty. Once you have 5, you can come over to this little guy. Where is he? It's actually not a he. It's a stone. You can come to Nephalem Obelisk, left click on it, and it opens a portal to this new area that they call rifts, Nephalem Rifts. What Nephalem Rifts are is basically, it takes any background or any tiles, you know what I mean by tiles, kind of like the floor. It takes any zone, and you go into there, and it has a random assortment of creatures. You may be on like an Act 1 map with Act 4 creatures. It's completely random. This is pretty cool. It kind of keeps it fresh. And until just recently, though, actually wasn't that great. But just recently, they put out a patch that actually increases your chance of getting legendaries by 25% inside of Nephalem Rifts. So that's kind of major. That's kind of the only area in the entire game where you can get an increase to your chance to find legendary. So everyone's going to be farming this late game. Inside of here, actually, I forgot to mention this too. So basically, you just go inside the rift, and your objective is just to kill everything. And once you kill a certain amount of creatures, it'll spawn a rift boss. And this rift boss is actually pretty cool. They're usually not terribly hard. Maybe in harder tournaments they are, but when you kill them, they actually drop real boss loot, which is one of the biggest problems I had with Diablo 3 vanilla is that the bosses drop garbage. But when you kill this boss, he's going to rain out a bunch of stuff like you would normally expect from a Diablo boss. So that's pretty cool. That's an awesome addition on top of the 25% chance to find legendary. So that's pretty awesome. Before they added the 25% though, I wasn't really too fond of the Nephalem rifts. I mean, you just go in there and kill things, which is fun, but I didn't really find an increase in legendaries, which late game is all about the legendaries. So, and that brings me to my next point. Diablo's biggest problem, which they're actually starting to correct, is just that, well, the biggest problem is that legendaries really aren't that fantastic. So, like, for instance, let's look at this ring right here, okay? Here's this Oculus ring, 429 dexterity, and 95 resistance to all elements. The ring I'm wearing right now, which is a rare, has almost the same properties as that. In fact, it's even better. That's why I don't use it. Like, the biggest problem in this game is that legendaries have the potential to be good, but they're usually not much better than rares. And since they drop so irregularly, finding that really good legendary becomes a huge pain in the butt because it takes forever to get a legendary to drop. Which is why that change to the Nephalem Rift is such a huge deal, because you need to find a ton of legendaries in order to get the good ones. So, like, for me, these rares don't really give me much of an upgrade anymore. They're still just... I mean, I've gotten to the point where I've upgraded all my level 60 gear with 71s, but I need legendaries in order to increase, because the stats are slightly better in legendaries compared to rares, but yeah, I just need that to keep moving forward, which is becoming a huge pain. But they're addressing that, as I said already, with the Nephalem Rift thing, so that's kind of cool. Let's see, I think I forgot one other thing too. With the addition of the extra 10 levels from the expansion, they also gave you a new passive skill slot opening, which to me is actually kind of major. I felt like when I was playing Diablo 3 that I wish I had another one, another passive slot before in the original game. But now, even with the addition of these extra skills, like, they also give you 3 extra passes for each class. These ones actually aren't that great, but the good news is there is ones in the original Diablo that I'd rather have 4 of anyway, so it didn't turn out to be such a huge deal. But yeah, so they gave you an extra passive, and they also gave you an extra skill. I won't cover that for each class, but each class did get 1 extra skill. And to be honest, from what I've seen and what I've played so far, no one really uses them. They're not as good as the regular Diablo skills, so that's kind of annoying, but whatever. At least they tried, I guess. But that's really it. That's all they added to Reaper of Souls. Obviously, it still kept my attention for the most part. And mainly the reason why I play, though, is because of people like my friend Gamez here. That's the main reason why I play this game. I haven't really found much good loot. But hopefully that's about to change. Hold on. Hello, buddy. So yeah, we'll sign off there. Overall, I'd probably give this expansion a 7.5 out of 10. The main things that hold it back are really the problems that have existed before the expansion, so I can't really harp on it for that. The reason why I'm giving it a 7.5, though, is the Act 5 that they gave us. It's kind of short if you think about it. So, like, you paid $60 for the full game that gives you 4 acts and 60 levels, and I paid $40 for an expansion that gives me 10 levels and 1 act. I don't know. Just based on that alone, it kind of lowers it for me. He wants me to do a rift. Okay, well, you know what? Let's just run a rift real quick. Why not, huh? Let's do that. Let's show you. Let's see if we can get a legendary here. That'd be awesome, right? We can find a decent legendary. Let me repair my gear real quick, and then we'll jump in. Where is the shop guy? Here's one. So my friend just spent 5 of the rift fragments to open up a portal. So let's go ahead and jump in there. He's probably waiting for me. And you get a chance to see my DPS, which, to be fair, DPS has really skyrocketed in this expansion. I do 4 times the damage that I used to, maybe even more. So I'm seeing numbers like 20 million and whatnot. Actually, do I have... Yeah. I have my gold find gear on, or my magic find gear on, so my damage isn't going to be as high as it normally would. Just for running rifts. You know what, let's see if we can get Jimmy on the call. Hold on. Let's see what he's doing. If he's not on the call, we don't have to do that. But yeah, you can see right here, it shows you how many creatures are left until the Rift Guardian boss joins. And let's see. This looks like a tile set from Act 2. He stands up to me. Okay, see, this is Act 4 creatures. Act 4 and Act 5, so... As you can see, it gives you random creatures on random tiles. Got ourselves a legendary here. This isn't too hard. We're playing on Torment 2. The highest difficulty is Torment 6. Which I could probably do, Torment 4? That's probably the highest I can go right now without any more gear upgrades, which is still pretty good. But this is probably the most efficient way for us to play the game. We can clear through the creatures pretty fast. And the bonus to Magic Find and whatnot by playing on the higher torments isn't a lot right now. So you just want to kill things quickly. Wow, see there's 14 million. When I have my best gear on it, it can get up to like 20 million. But unfortunately, I still use the same skills as I did from the previous game. I haven't really updated that. So you saw in my previous videos the abilities that I use. It's pretty much the same. I did get rid of Fan of Nice to replace it with the Mark for Death, which basically increases damage for everyone. So I figured overall that's probably going to pay off more than the Fan of Nice did. Plus, whenever that creature dies, it spreads it to everyone else because I have the Contagion rune. So you'll see I'll put a little mark above someone's head, and then once they die, everyone else will have that mark. So right there, that mark on top of his head increases damage. If there were creatures around, they would get it as well. This one's pretty sparse, though. Usually they have way more creatures per Rift. This one is very sparse. And actually, usually it's more, has more elites and more champions. Oh, they have these. Oh, I forgot to talk about these. So, a kind of cool thing they had, they added to the Rift world is these new pylons, which are like insane shrines. Like basically, this one just increases our damage by 400%, which that's pretty major. They have another one too that you just walk around and it basically just kills everything. But the downside is they don't last as long. Look at that, we just killed that elite in like 2 seconds because we have that buff on. It's about to go away in about 5 seconds here, unfortunately. Yeah, it's gone. So we're back to normal. But they do have some pretty crazy ones. The one that does the lightning damage around you that just kills everything is really, really awesome. Some people complain it's overpowered, but it doesn't last that long, so it's not a huge deal. Just kind of a fun little thing to find on the map. And again, everything's random. The location of everything, the creatures, the layout. It's all random at Nephalem Rifts. So far nothing good yet. Are you serious? I'm full? Did I not sell everything? Well, that kind of sucks. We'll just toss out blues in place for yellows when they come up. And hopefully a legendary. I'm so jaded by this game though, I'm pretty sure that there won't be any legendaries drop. Hopefully they prove me wrong, but let's get rid of some of these blues. We don't have time for blues. I don't think I've ever used the blue throughout the whole game. Which is kind of funny. I should just get rid of it. Another thing that's kind of funny too is that it's funny, like they classify blues as being rare, and then they classify they classify them as being magical, and they classify the yellows as rare. But from my experience, yellows are not rare at all. In fact, they're the most common type of stuff to drop. Which is kind of funny. I don't know if they thought about that, but it's totally true. It is totally true. Like, even from this run, if you look at all the items that drop, you'll see that the yellow ones are the most common. I don't even think white drops anymore unless you get it from, like, a chest or some kind of weapons thing. Ooh, there's a goblin. We'll mark him for sure and then go to town. Yeah, I see, like, 2 of these and then some gems. Oh, crap. I am, like, totally full here. My friend's over there just killing everything. Get these reusable parts. Oh. Alright. I need to sell. Let's go sell real quick. We're not even going to look at them. We're just going to sell everything. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to find an upgrade. I need legendaries at this point to upgrade. This guy. Just unload all these real quick, and then we'll go back in. When you first start off, though, you do want to take a look at the rares, because there actually is really good ones when you first start the expansion. And oh, he's gonna kill that pretty quick. And actually, there's some really good ones that you can use the Mystic to change. Actually, that are better than some of the legendaries, in my opinion. All right, let's see how far Jimmy got without me. He's way up there. This one's been kind of a slow Nephalem riff. Again, it's all random, so... What are you doing, sir? I don't see where he killed that legendary. Oh, up there. I don't even want it. Just try to keep up. Oh, we found the rift boss? No, this isn't a rift boss. Just a regular boss. And see, like, now we're in Act 4. Or no, this is actually part of the new expansion, this level right here. With Act 4 creatures. Those guys are from Act 2. So yeah, you get the idea. And my friend has such high DPS, like, he's killing them before I can even get a shot off. We need a huge group. We actually probably should be in Torment 3. So our damage is pretty freaking high.
I need more hatred to do that.
Alright. Where is the boss? At least this level seems to be a little more populated. Again, it's completely random. I've actually done one of these rifts and gone up against teddy bears and unicorns, which is kind of funny. I'm guessing the unicorns came from the pony level, but I don't know where the teddy bears came from. I've never actually tried to do all those kind of crazy events in this game. Oh my god. Get him out quick. Kaboom. Alright. See, we're at 76%. I just want to show you guys the rift boss and then the loot he drops, and we'll go from there. One shot. One shot. I love this chick. Demon Hunter is probably my most favorite class in this game. It's not the strongest class at the moment, but it's definitely up there. It's got to be in the top 3. Wizard apparently is the most overpowered. But what they have for damage, they lack in kind of survivability. With my Demon Hunter, I feel like I have a good mix of survivability and a lot of damage. She's probably the safest character in the whole game, just based on the fact that she can go invisible pretty much as she wishes until she runs out of discipline, which takes a good 4 or 5 times. Alright. So I can pretty much one-shot anything that's white. The white common mobs. My friend can definitely do the same. His damage is actually better than mine, which that's kind of scary. But then again, he is a wizard. Wizards are OP right now, apparently. Ow. Alright, got him. Are we getting close? 85%. Where's all the baddies? Coming, Jim Bob. I think my friend might be selling stuff? No. He's just looking at things. So in my opinion, the reason why wizards do more damage than demon hunters is basically because they don't run out of their resources as quick. Like, my Demon Hunter could out-damage them if the stuff I used to use my abilities didn't run out so quickly. Oh, nice. So we got the Protection Shrine here. It's another one of the new shrines. You don't take any damage for 20 seconds, so this is basically a free elite kill. Still going. I guess we got... Oh, wow. It says... What? Is that a regular shrine? It says it has 2 minutes left. Maybe that wasn't the shrine I was thinking it was. Maybe it's just a regular one, not one of the new ones. They do have both. Nephalem Rifts had both the original shrines and the new, I guess they call them pylons, the new pylons. Let's stay with Jimmy. Bump, bump, bump. There's one. Conduit. Oh, this is it. Watch this. You just walk around and it kills everything. So what we try to do is we try to spread out and cover as much ground as possible. So he's going to go that way. I'm going to go this way. And this thing will just annihilate anything it comes in contact with. Look at that. That's actually pretty awesome, right? It doesn't last very long. I probably got about 10 seconds left of it. Oh, I found the Rift Guardian. Come on. This thing should destroy the Rift Guardian, actually. Yeah, look at that. He's usually a lot harder than that. That's funny. That's awesome. So as you can see, I didn't get a legendary. I just got this Forgotten Soul, which isn't really a legendary. So I don't know. They said they increased it by 25%. Hopefully they didn't go back and change it because people were finding stuff too quickly. That's kind of been the way this game has worked, which is really frustrating. Like, people find a way to have fun, and Blizzard quickly nerfs it. Like, oh, you're finding stuff too quickly. Let's just go ahead and tone that back to where you don't find any that often. I don't know why they have that, because the original Diablo was about finding legendaries all the time, but it was more about getting the perfect roll in them. So trying to do that in this game would just take way too long. Like, as you can see, I put 700 hours, and I don't feel like I had the best legendaries in the game, where if I put even half that time in Diablo 2, I would probably have the best legendaries in the game. So I don't know. Some people like grinding. I'm not a huge grind fan, especially considering that I want to do other things like Smite and whatnot. So I don't know. Let's go ahead and go back and sell, and then we'll go ahead and end the video there. So I didn't get anything good. I did not get anything good there. I don't think my friend got one either. He would have mentioned it. Let's go ahead and put these up. That. Alright. Well, there you go, guys. That's Reaper of Souls. Again, 7.5 out of 10. Did I say 7 or 7.5? Let's just go with 7.5. It's a decent expansion. The things that are holding it back are things that have existed before the expansion. I mean, I guess I could knock it for not trying to fix it, but I don't know. But anywho, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. And as always, until next time, have a good one.